Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Kevin Michel. I am back again with another video. So today we are going to make some sports anthem type music catered for sync licensing. I kind of specialize at this point with this type of music because I've had like 3-4 albums worth of this signed from different libraries exclusively. So I'm familiar with making these types of tracks. And also with the NBA season started and the NFL season started, I felt like this was like perfect timing and appropriate. Go Celtics! If you're not a Celtics fan, I feel bad for you. Nonetheless, let's get started and let's be great. Right, y'all. So let's get started. As you can see, this is like a blank canvas. Usually when I get started though, I have a template that I start off with just so you know I'm not redoing everything over, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to create everything from scratch. Just want to include this as well. I am coming out with like a sample pack catered for sync licensing. If you're looking for sounds and different ways to approach this, I will be coming out and dropping a sample pack pretty soon. So when I start, I usually start off with an A section and a B section. In sync licensing, that is like the structure that you want to that you want to go with. With the A section means is your primary melody, primary like main part of the song, and the B section is like an alternative, but it doesn't lose the energy. It still maintains the same energy, but it's just an alternative melody. So we're gonna go and create that. The way I usually do things, I start off with my A section, then I create a B section, then I arrange it from there, and then we have a whole track. I'll start off with just trying to find a tempo. I'm thinking about like 150 to 170 is usually the range. Again, this is hip hop stuff. It's not too far from your typical hip hop beat, but it does have a difference in energy and in dynamics. All right, so 150. Let's see if that sounds right. Yeah. All right. So when I first start off, I always start off with strings. I don't know why, but I feel like strings is just a perfect sound to start off when you're going for that hip hop sports theme music, just because it just has like this epic vibe about it, and it has like that orchestral stuff is really just really dope to just put with like trap drums and that sort of thing. So I'm just gonna create a melody just for our A section, and then we can continue after that. I like that. All right, so now we have our main melody. Nothing too crazy. It's just real simple, just so we have a foundation to go off of. Now I'm going to quickly add some drums. So then we have more dynamic and more understanding of what the vibe is. So I'm just going to quickly add some drums. I'm actually thinking about speeding this up. I'm hearing. Yeah. So I'm actually going to call something I call a stadium clap. It's something I designed. I want it to feel like a whole stadium is clapping their hands. It's really dry right now, but if you put the reverb effect, it just has this wide feel. So it makes it sound big. All right. So now we have our A section. We're missing some components, but this is like a great place to start. I'm going to start our B section now. I'm going to keep the drums just for reference, and I'm going to change up the melody a little bit. I might use a different instrument just so it's not repetitive. I may bring the strings back in just to double that B section, but when it first starts, I want it to be a different instrument. All right, so I'm thinking of adding a guitar. Just gonna arpeggiate it, and I am going to add some distortion to give it that grit. Where are we at? I hate when I know what I'm looking for. There it is. All right, cool. So we're gonna add some distortion to this guitar, and then we have the arpeggiator just so it sounds a little bit more realistic. Let's see. But we're going to add some reverb so it's not smacking us in our face. Yeah. I like that. Oh, it's going to be an 8-bar loop, which is perfect. That gives us more to work with. So for that B section, at some point I'm gonna have the melody doubled with another lead guitar, just kind of harmonizing with it. Again, we wanted to sound realistic as possible. If there was like two guitar players vibing off of the melody line, so let's figure that out now. All right, so now we have our A section right here, and then we have our B section, and then the kick with the B section. I just have that just so I have an idea of where it's going. But now we can start arranging a little bit just so we have a clearer picture, and then we can add more components to the song just so there's more stuff going on. So this B section probably won't happen until about 30 something seconds. If not, we can change that. So my intro, I usually don't have a lot of instrumentation in terms of drums yet. I'll probably have a hat like probably midway. Let's see, like 2 bars. So let's see. Actually, that sounds weird. So we'll just. And then it'll drop right here. Trick I like to do is I like to give space. So this part we're gonna actually sweep into this section here. So then when it comes in, it's just a big feeling. So the intro. On this second part, we're gonna actually build. I'm going to add some claps. So then this might be a dramatic build up right here. So you can never go wrong with these type of claps. It just brings that energy. I'm going to add a bass line just so it there's more dynamics there and it fills up the melody. All right, so now that we have our bass and our clap in the build section, I'm going to actually add a choir. Again, we're trying to paint the picture of a dramatic scene or a dramatic commercial or anything like that. So the more dramatic and the more elements that you add, the more it fits into whatever what's going on. So again, we're just going to add a choir. That's how it sounds. This choir is from Omnisphere. It's just one of the presets on Omnisphere. So all right, so now we have our intro. going into that A section. So this is what it sounds like. I went ahead and I added a splice loop that I like to use. It's this rhythmic clap. It just fills in. It just fills in every time. This is like my go-to for build up section. So this is our whole intro section with the sweep, with everything so far. All right, so now we're gonna fill up the melody. I'm gonna add an 808 and then some other components to fill up the A section. So I'm gonna add a second 808, a more simple one. Again, we don't want to loop anything, so I'm gonna make the first 808 more simple, and then the second one will be a little bit more busy. So on that second half, I'm thinking of an open hat, and notice I'm naming all my tracks. That is another quick tip when you are creating. Name your tracks, because at the end when you're bouncing and libraries are asking for different things, you want to be as organized as possible, because it makes the process so much easier, because this stuff can be tedious, but it'll pay off in the long run, especially when you're, exporting and coming up with alternative mixes. So it's important to name your tracks. That's just another quick tip when you are doing stuff for sync. All right. So real quick, we're gonna add a open hat to give it more bounce. Doubled up the A section, so we had this at first, and now I'm going to the A section again, but now I'm going to introduce a whole new component. I'm thinking like a brass section that's going to double up the melody. So then, again, you are giving more dynamics to the song, just so when the music editor is editing, they have more to work with, and more sections that they may choose. So I'm going to add a brass section. So that is our A section for now. So then we are going to add this sweep again, because we are introducing a new section. The fun part about doing it this way is you can kind of mix and match different parts, so then it feels like something new. So for example, I have this B section. I can bring in the claps that I had in the intro, reintroduce it, because it was only there for 4 bars. So I can reintroduce it with this B section and then bring the drums in. So then it sounds like a whole new section. So that's a tip that I usually do. I like to bring things back in, bring them back out. Again, the point is for it to be fun and not to feel like it's a loop. So you can have fun and be creative with it. So this is how our B section is going to sound. So for this section, it's a completely different feel for the 808. So I'm going to re-record the 808 for this section. So I'm actually going to so I'm going to bring in the second guitar on this half. So for the first, was that 16 bars, it'll be just this guitar. I'm going to actually add the hat, the open hat. Again, I just reintroducing different instruments in different sections. This open hat back, I'm going to bring it back for this second half. And then I'm going to bring in the second guitar, this half. So then, again, it's just, there's more things going on. So let's see how that sounds. So I don't want this to be repetitive again. I'm not gonna loop it again. So I'm going to actually double the melody, but now bring the strings back in, doing the B section melody, if that makes sense. So I ended up not doubling the melody with the strings. I just kind of filled up with chords and staccato movements with the strings. So I'm just gonna solo this so you can kind of hear it, because everything's like super like loud and it's not balanced. So, but here's how both of the strings and the guitar sounds. All right. All right. So we're pretty much done with the B section. And then I'm going to add the sweep again. I'm going to add the sweep. So then we can introduce the A section all over again. Right here, I'm going to give it like a 4-bar space. Oh. All right, so when I introduce this A section, I'm going to take everything out except for the strings. I'm actually going to bring the brass back in, and I am going to bring these claps here. So it sounds like a different A section, but it's the same thing, but just less going on, because you don't want to go to 0 and go right back to 100. You kind of want to gradually build again. That's the whole point of all of this, is to literally like drop, come down, know when to, bring things back up and how to bring it back up. It's just really understanding dynamics. Here's the sweep going into the A section. And then we're going to bring that, or we're actually going to double this. I might actually take out the strings. And then bring that the bass line back in. right here at this section here. And then another sweep into, actually no sweep. All right, brought the bass back in along with the claps. I'm actually thinking about doing the choir again. So I'm going to bring that choir back in because we're about to end. But this section will be, like, I want it to be really dramatic. All right, so I basically doubled up the A section right here. So we just had these two, and now I added these two here because we're going to end. So I'm actually going to bring these strings back in. I'm going to double up the strings, and I'm going to bring it up an octave higher because that'll give the melody a epic sound, a more epic sound. So here we go. All right, so now we are going to end everything with a sting ending. What is a sting ending? Just in case you don't know, it is an ending that ends on the root. So whatever the root note of the song is, so in this case it's C minor, you want to have something that cuts through and ends on that note, just so it signifies that the song and the track is finished. And this also gives the editor space and control on like whatever's next. So say if they have another song right after, this signifies that this is all finished. So I'm going to end with a brass stab. This brass stab will actually be available again with the sample pack that I am coming out for sync licensing. So if you are interested, be on the lookout for that. So that 808 is like leaking through, which is okay. So deleted that. Sometimes I like to delete some instruments so that the ending sounds a little bit more resolved and smoother. So I just deleted the kick, and I'll delete this clap and all right, so that's basically it. There are little things I may add. Like I know that 808 was like ringing out at the end, but little stuff that I can fix. But this is generally like, how I do things. And this is pretty much it. I'm at like timing wise, I'm at like 2 minutes, which is like perfect. All the libraries that I've worked for so far haven't asked for anything over 2 minutes. If they do, it's like, that one time. Usually 2 minutes is like a good place where you want to be. It's not too short, it's not too long, and it gives more to work with for the music editor. So this is typically it. My biggest advice from this that I would give is to make sure that your track doesn't sound like it's a loop. That is probably one of the biggest things I try to strive for every time I make a track. So even if you bring something back in or take it out or introduce it, and it only happens for 4 bars, and you bring it back at the end, like, you can be creative as much as possible without the track sounding like a loop. If you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think of this, and if this is helpful for you, and if you're interested in more of this, let me know. And if you think this is a dope Celtics theme, if you think this is a dope sports theme, let me know. But until next time, be great. And also, please be on the lookout for this sample pack I will be releasing for sync licensing. So be on the lookout for that. Until next time, be great.